Welcome to Better HR in 10 Minutes, where we take a topic important to HR and in 10 minutes or less, we discuss it from the point of view of an employment attorney and from a trainer. I'm the trainer, I'm Rodney Klein.
I'm the employment attorney, Sarah Glasser.
Now, you don't have to give a disclaimer today, Sarah, right? Because the topic we're going to have is not necessarily, well, it's not legal. I don't think
Not
it's
legal at
legal.
all. No, it's not. It's
It's
fun.
it should be a fun one. It's based on our experiences, what does it take to be great at your job? What's one piece of advice you would give somebody and say, hey, if you want to be great at your job, do this?
Okay, well, I don't want to be so presumptuous to think that I am great at my job, but my my guidance here actually fits perfectly into that. So if I were to think about what, because I'm a lawyer, but most of the people who I work with and talk to are, some of them are lawyers, but some of them are in HR, and some of them are in HR against their will. If you are an accountant or a CPA for a small business and you have been like dragged kicking and screaming into the HR world, then I totally get it. Um, but this piece, the advice that I have, like I think could go to everyone, and it goes to if there happens to be any young lawyers watching this, it goes to that as well, which is that oftentimes like throughout the entirety of your career, folks will come to you and ask you a question, and you may feel like they want you to know the answer right then and there, and it takes, I think, confidence and maturity and professionalism to say, I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm willing to go look it up for you, or we can figure it out together, or some version of that. And that is a really important thing to say when you are a lawyer, because when you are a lawyer, your word is, you're ethically bound to what you say. So it's particularly important in that instance, but it shows, not only does it show that you're willing to tell folks when you don't know the answer and you're willing to figure out the answer, but it does in fact make you seem more credible when you do in fact know the answer and you say something. So it makes you a better lawyer, a better HR person, a better all around person when you are comfortable saying, I don't know the answer, but we'll figure it out together. One of the ways I like to uh, caveat that is by when someone calls me and I don't know the answer, I say, well, no one's ever asked me that before, but we'll figure it out. Uh,
And they say, well,
so
I asked you that last week. How come you don't remember that, right?
yeah, right. Like, hang on, you billed me for that. No, just kidding. Well, what about you? What do you think about all that?
I think it's kind of complementary. I think most people, when they have jobs, a lot of those jobs involve problem solving. So there's not necessarily a rigid answer for how you do things. You have to
Mhm.
figure it out. And I think to be really great at your job, you have to have a balance between confidence and humility. When I started work at the EEOC, I was an investigator. And I always tell people that I feel like I became a good investigator on the day that I stopped caring about what my boss thought about my cases. Now,
Mm.
that's not a knock on my boss. We agreed on pretty much everything when it came to the cases. It's that, as you know, when you start a job, when you first do it, you kind of do it for, you think about, well, how would my boss do this if my boss was doing this? Or what am I standards am I supposed to be hitting? But at the point of time where I'm like, no, I have my own standards. I know what I'm doing here. And so I want to meet those standards. I've internalized my job. That's good. But I also say that it requires a balance because sometimes you run across people that they're just always right about everything and they won't listen to anything and you can't tell them anything. And
Yeah.
they're terrible at their jobs because they are just stuck. On the same side, or on the different side of the coin, is people that never have the confidence to say, I think I'm right about this, right? They're blown
Yeah.
by the wind in every direction. I think you have to be confident in what you're doing. But at the same time, I think you have to be willing to self-analyze honestly and say, I don't know the answer to this question. Let's see if we can figure out the answer.
Yeah. And if you do that, you will, I think you'll gain loyalty from the people who you're working with, from the people who you're working for. because they will come to trust that when you say that you feel confident in your position, or when you say that you know the answer, that you really do.
Right. So anyway, that's our topic today. Hopefully that helps everybody go out and be great. And I continually work on this for myself. And let Sarah and I know if we can be of any help to you. And thank you for watching.
Have a great day.